long time no see. I know. I'm sorry. We're not going to talk about it. We're just going to get into this tutorial. I know this isn't like a very original Halloween idea. Everybody's doing a corpse bride, but I've never done a corpse bride. And I just wanted to do like my version of it. I also made all of these costume pieces, so that'll be in this tutorial as well. And I'm really proud of this little guy that I made all out of clay and paint. I love him so much. If you want to see how I did this corpse bride makeup, then obviously keep watching. I don't know why that's a thing to say. It just like feels like I need to say it. So this is take 2. I just washed my face that already had blue paint, somewhat covered eyebrows. It just wasn't working out. And so I washed it off and I'm starting again and I'm like trying not to cry. But whatever, let's try again. Before I put anything on my face, I'm going to glue my brows down with purple Elmer's glue. So I'm really gonna get in there and make sure all the hair is coated, going back and forth. Ooh. And then we're gonna comb the hair in the direction that it lays down the flattest. So the way your brows naturally grow is often a good way to go. And with a makeup wipe, I'm just gonna clean up around the brow so there's not a ton of glue buildup on my forehead. And then I'm just gonna use my finger and kind of roll, really pushing the hair down. Squish! So that's coat number 1. I'll do this one too. Cute. This is hurting my face. My face has already been through so much today. These are the one size go off makeup wipes. They smell so good. I don't use makeup wipes to remove my makeup, but there are plenty of other things like this that I use them for. And we'll just let those dry for a moment or two. Take this time to reflect on what went wrong the first time. Okay, that's nice and crispy. Round 2. If it's not already a thing, someone needs to invent like a bald cap for your brows that you just like slap on and call it a day. I'm not sure why I'm using my left hand. It just felt right. Coat number 3. I think. Coat number 4. They're still looking pretty textured. They feel okay though. I've seen people lick the glue stick before they do it. Probably makes it go on smoother, but I cannot lick the glue stick. I can't bring myself to lick the glue stick. I wish I was more brave. I think this is coat number 5. Is that what did I say 4 last time? It's starting to look smoother when I put the glue on, so I think we're gonna be okay. Look at me being positive. Disgusting. Oop. What? Oh. That's a big glooper. I can hear the man next door on the telephone, which means he can probably hear me too, and he is probably very confused. I think I'm gonna do one last layer, layer 6, and now we just wait for it to dry. While I'm waiting for these to dry, I'm gonna start prepping my face. This is the Smashbox photofinish smooth and blur primer. I'm gonna use quite a generous amount. We're doing chest and shoulders too, so I gotta prime that as well. These are still purple. They feel dry though, so I think that we can just go ahead. I'm gonna put some powders, multiple. Some powder on top. This is the lavender powder from Fenty. And I'm gonna cover them a little bit with a stick foundation. This is the Milk Flex foundation in porcelain. And then I'm gonna start covering the rest of my face. I'm just using a really pale concealer as a base. This is pale. Can't Stop, Won't Stop. The SFX paints are kind of sheer, like they don't have a lot of coverage. And since we're gonna be a really light blue anyway, I figured it won't matter if the blue blends in with the light concealer a little bit. I just didn't want my skin to show through the paints. I always feel like Uncle Fester when I do a really light base with no eyebrows. I'm gonna be real with you guys. My wrists and fingers and even my forearms already hurt from this blending. Thanks to EDS. Let's do a little bit extra eyebrow covering. It's not the smoothest eyebrow cover, but it will do just fine. I don't have to worry about the ears because the wig We'll cover them. Usually when I turn myself blue, I do a light base and then I go in with powders like eyeshadows. But I've got these SFX cream color palettes from NYX. I bought these pretty much for this look. There's 2 different blues and a white and a gray, so we've got everything we need here. I'm gonna start with the blue in the Brights palette, and I'm gonna use it like I would a cream contour. Just starting kind of on the outer parts of my face. I'm not gonna worry too much about the outer parts of my neck because I am going to go in and do a bit of an illusion that my neck is really little. And I'm gonna do the same, kind of bringing it across the shoulder. So I look real Tim Burton. Not too much. I don't want this to be so much an illusion makeup as like me as Corpse Bride, if that makes sense. I thought about doing like full illusion, but I thought it would be kind of more fun for me anyways to do, yeah, just kind of me as Corpse Bride, me as a Tim Burton character that is also Corpse Bride. I will say this is definitely faster than using powders. But if you don't have paints, I will link one of my other videos where I turn blue with eyeshadow in this video, but be ready to use a lot of powder. So I'm not picking up any more product. I'm just starting to blend this all over. I love being blue. It's my favorite color to be. Maybe because the outside matches the inside. Pushing this brush onto my chest actually feels so good on my chest muscles. A little massage. I should take out my nose ring, but it's such a hard clicker to get in and out that I'm not going to. Sorry about it. This is the primary palette, and I'm gonna use the blue here next. And we're gonna start carving out some nice cheekbones. Working in layers. It's just easier that way. Just building up slowly. Sketching in jawline, making this whole area slightly darker. I have a reference photo of Corpse Bride right in front of me, very important. Working with these cream paints is really fun. I'm having a good time. And then just using that bigger brush, blend it in a little bit, add a little bit of that darker blue around the top of the forehead. These definitely blend better in stippling motions instead of dragging it around. Then going in with another layer of that deep blue, really carving out that cheekbone. I'm also gonna grab some of this brown gray shade and really just make that nice and deep. This is a ColourPop F12 brush, in case you are wondering. Also using that gray along the jawline. I'm gonna add a little bit more of that deep blue to my forehead here. And just back in with that foundation brush, make everything a little bit softer. These are blending very nicely. Sorry if you can hear the truck outside, I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna go in with that gray, and I am just gonna map out my new neck. I think it'll just kind of help me see what it looks like, what I'm doing. Just looking straight ahead in the mirror, try to get the sides somewhat even. Just think it'll help me kind of visualize it if I can see this part of it. It's so noisy outside. I think that's good enough for now. We will finish that later. Going into the deep blue with a smaller brush, I'm gonna start the nose. Her nose is so itty bitty. Drawing kind of like a little triangle here on the tip, and then her nose actually comes to like an end. So we're gonna actually connect it at the top, which seems so wrong. That beeping is gonna drive me insane when I'm editing. I hope it's not too bad for y'all. Just going in with a clean brush, I'll do some blending, and then we'll definitely use some highlighting as well for this nose. Taking a little bit of the white paint and highlighting the itty bitty tiny bridge and this little tip here in like a triangle shape there. Also going to add a tiny bit of highlight on the sides of our blue contour. And then this is where her little nostrils are gonna go. Highlight down the side here as well, because that's our new nostril side nostril flap. Looks so weird. Thanks, I hate it. I'm also gonna add a little bit of white to the chin here and highlight here for that really pop-in cheekbone. That helps the illusion so much. I'm gonna jump back into this lighter blue. I feel like I kind of lost that blue here. I think it needs it. Do a little bit of highlight on the forehead. And we're gonna take some painkillers. I'm gonna start on the eyes, and I'm gonna use the e.l.f. and jkissa To The Rescue palette. And I'm gonna use this shade here. What are you? Thatcher. And I'm gonna pack this on the lid around here. Because we're not gonna do like an illusion eye makeup that'll make big Tim Burton eyes. It's just gonna be more so an eye look that's cute. I'm gonna do it in a shape that's kind of downturned because I think that's like very Tim Burton. So bringing it up a lot higher on the inner corner and then down. This is the perfect blue. I know that at this point in the makeup it looks really bizarre, but somehow I feel like very attractive. It's so weird putting eyeshadow on top of the eyebrow because I can't feel it at all. This eyeshadow is so pigmented. I'm gonna kind of connect this the nose a little bit there, and then with a slightly smaller brush I'm gonna pack that on the lower lid too, all the way around the eye and blend it fairly far down. How much does that change the look? That's insane. Just using a clean brush to really blend the edges. I look like a scary zombie. I'm gonna use this tiny little angled brush and that same blue eyeshadow just to sketch on where the brow is gonna go. It just makes it easier because this is easier to fix than if I just like went right in with liquid eyeliner. So sad. Before I put those on, I'm actually gonna go in and just set some of my face makeup with powder. This is the Fenty lavender powder again. It's a bit brightening, but for the most part, it's pretty translucent. Even if we do lose some of the darkness and some of the brights, we can go back in with powder. I'm gonna take a tiny bit of white eyeshadow from Sugar Pill. Just pop that highlight back in. Just using a little bit of that Thatcher shade again to reinforce our blue contour. I'm gonna actually use the black paint for the brows with the little angle brush. I think this is an easier option. I could also use a gel liner. Let's do the nostrils while we're at it. I'm gonna use my nostril as a guide, which will also help the illusion. It's not gonna be exactly like her nose because her little nostrils are like right together. And I don't wanna make them too big. Why does that look so cute? I'm gonna put a little bit of Jumbo Pencil and Milk in the waterline just for a little bit of a bigger eye look. Just going in and adding a little bit more of that Thatcher shade, bringing it down a little bit. I'm really excited to add the lips. Should that be the next step? I'm gonna first sketch on the lips with a liner. This is Lovenote by Melt. She's got real full lips. The top is really round. And then they're quite wide. So I'm gonna extend my lips out quite far. And the bottom lip isn't as wide. It kind of connects to the top lip from the bottom. Every step changes the look so much. Okay, I'm gonna fill it in with the liner. This isn't quite the color I want, so we'll go on top with another lipstick and we'll do a little bit of shading. I'm gonna take a little bit of white eyeshadow and I'm just gonna highlight around the top lip. It really gives the illusion that that is my lip line because it kind of like pushes it out, especially here on the edges where we change the shade a little bit here. Then to make them a little bit more pink, I'm gonna use this Hank and Henry Beauty Lickher, which is a nice cool tone pink. And then I'm gonna go in with a little bit of purple eyeshadow. This is the shade Sadie. And I'm gonna pack that on the outer corner on the bottom lip. I think they're like installing something in the office upstairs. It's so noisy. And adding a bit of a shadow under the bottom lip. And then a little bit kind of lining the top lip, just to give them a little bit more depth and make them look a little bit more 3D. She also has these like little tiny dimples right above the lip. Not an illusion makeup, she said. Should I just go ask them politely to be quiet? I'm gonna do a little bit on the chest. I'm gonna go in with some white eyeshadow. I just have to accept that the tattoos are not gonna be covered. I need a little bit more paint too. Actually, with another layer of the cream, the tattoos are kind of disappearing. I'm also gonna go into the white, kind of mix it in with that blue. I don't usually do body paint because I'm so lazy. And also, like, with my connective tissue disorder, like, I don't have a lot of time before it's unbearable, which is such a bummer, such a waste. And you can't really see. I'm highlighting where her chest sits. Mine doesn't sit there. I want you guys to be able to see, but I also, like, don't want you to, like, see. And then with the deeper blue, do a little contour here, like so. And then we'll add in her very prominent collarbone. Go into that deep gray. Actually gonna add a little bit of black just to there. Then into the white, because it's the highlight that's really going to make this illusion. And see what I mean? I'll drop something. That's a different beeping. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but like there's a whole lot of beeping going on today. I'm gonna go in with a big foundation brush. I am just going to carve out our arms here and neck. It's like a cut crease, but for your body. This looks so absolutely weird and bizarre. I'm gonna set my chest with some powder before I mess it up. Again, just using the lavender Fenty powder. She's so skinny. All right, I'm gonna add some mascara because we're gonna do lashes next. This is the On the Rise mascara by NYX. It's my favorite right now. I'm just gonna touch up our eyeshadow a little bit with that Thatcher color. Let's also reinforce our shadow there. A little bit here. I'm so impressed with the tattoo coverage that we managed to get. So for top lashes, I'm gonna use Likely Makeup Slice Lashes. They're like the perfect spiky lash for this look. So I guess the only illusion that we're not doing is the eyes. The rest of it is all illusion makeup. I just don't really like that like closed eye. I don't know, I want to have my eyes open. I want them to stick up really straight. So I'm gonna actually try to glue them on in a way that they will. So pretty. I feel like that just made the whole look. I think for the bottom, I am going to draw them on with a liquid just because they're so chunky and I don't feel like cutting up some lashes. I'm just gonna add some thick lashes. That's cute. Okay, I'm gonna grab my accessories, my wig, and then we will see what that looks like and we'll do a few touch-ups if necessary. It looks pretty good. I'm gonna go in with that Thatcher. I'm just gonna bring this down a little bit. I feel like it just needs a little bit more. I'm also gonna take Thatcher and just deepen this slightly. I'm also gonna go in and add some of that blue Thatcher shade onto where I put the black around my neck to try and blend it in with the hair a little bit better. I got the wig at a Halloween store. The veil was from the thrift store. I just tore it up a little bit. The flowers are just from Michael's and I painted them all gray so they were like kind of that dead feel. The dress that you can't really see, it was a long sleeve lace dress that I had in my closet and I just cut it out into a sweetheart neckline. I added some lace around the top and some little pearls, painted it gray. If this is gonna be your actual costume, I would just get some white gloves and then you don't have to paint your hands and arms, like the kind that go up really high. The only thing I bought new was the wig. Oh, and also I almost forgot. I made this little guy out of clay and then painted him and I'm gonna keep him forever. I'm gonna paint my hand blue so that I can hold him. So one moment, please. There, now I can show my little friend. All right, so this is my corpse bride look all done. I'm really happy with how this turned out. It's looks like this that like make me remember that I really love makeup. Let me know what you guys think of the look and what you want to see also. I am gonna do an Edward Scissorhands, I think like his cute sister. But let me know what else you want. Hopefully I'm back to filming. I'll let you guys know. Thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you in the next one.